what my kidneys aren't doing.
To stay alive, Garrett normally spends 9 hours each night hooked up to a dialysis machine.
I had a flu at one point, and they just noticed that my blood pressure was a little high. Did some blood work, and then probably by about 5:30 after I got home, I got a phone call, and she said, I have a room for you at the emergency room. You need to go right now.
And so what was happening?
They just were shutting down.
Your kidneys?
Yeah, because as of now, I essentially have less than 3% functionality.
Wow.
I mean, last year alone, I was almost a month and a half, 2 months in the hospital. I was passing out. I was going headfirst into walls. I just couldn't function.
So you're going to need a new kidneys?
Yeah, I'll need one
kidney.
to start, and that should hopefully, I hope it gives me at best 20 more years, and I'll probably need a second one at that point.
And you've been on the list here in Georgia for how long now?
Oh, geez, almost 2 years, a year and a half at least.
World I was being brought into.
The world within these walls was inconceivable. A horror house of sexual abuse and international sex trafficking.
I was abused by people that I can't even mention here. There's a lot of scars hidden behind those walls. It should be ripped down. It should be burned to the ground. Some of my worst memories are from this place.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, I do.
Jeffrey Epstein led a privileged life. His extraordinary wealth on show around the world. He had his own fleet of planes, a private island, ranches,
into a gated world worth billions of dollars. There are countless financial victims worldwide. But this isn't a story about them.
How did you feel duping people?
We're heading a little bit south of Mesot into an area that we know as Taichung. It's commonly known also as Mountain View. For us, it's one of the worst compounds that exists in terms of human rights violations, abuses, absolute torture of their victims.
Judatana is on a mission. He's in Thailand. Over the river is Myanmar, where thousands of people are working in prison-like compounds, known as scam centres. They're
like your HelloFresh meal or something.
Yeah.
Does HelloFresh sponsor this podcast?
I don't know, HelloFresh, please reach out.
Click Caleb's link.
Click my link below. Please click the HelloFresh link.
But you know what I mean? Like, there has to be some utility to the minions for real.
Absolutely.
For real. Yeah.
I want, what you're describing, unfortunately, is slavery.
He said, I know it's illegal, that's why I made my own. I made my own race. My own species.
Created my own.
I just made my own. I did it my own way real quick.
He said protected under free
DIY.
speech.
DIY real quick.
Can I say something really quick?
I wish
you would
for the room, now that we're alone.
Go ahead.
There's 27 people in here.
There are so many people.
Like, literally, there's 30 people in this room.
There are so many people in here.
When I was earlier today, I was like thinking about like how we have plans after we're gonna go eat whatever.
Chili's.
Looking at you,
can say Chili's.
You can say we're going to Chili's.
With that on, so upsetting. I was like,
I'm like listening.
I was like thinking about getting picked up like by the car that I have, and I was like,
What my kidneys aren't doing.
To stay alive, Garrett normally spends 9 hours each night hooked up to a dialysis machine.
I had a flu at one point, and they just noticed that my blood pressure was a little high. Did some blood work, and then probably by about 5:30 after I got home, I got a phone call, and she said, I have a room for you at the emergency room. You need to go right now.
And so what was happening?
They just were shutting down.
Your kidneys?
Yeah, because as of now, I essentially have less than 3% functionality.
Wow.
I mean, last year alone, I was almost a month and a half, 2 months in the hospital. I was passing out. I was going headfirst into walls. I just couldn't function.
So you're going to need a new kidneys?
Yeah, I'll need one
kidney.
to start, and that should hopefully, I hope it gives me at best 20 more years, and I'll probably need a second one at that point.
And you've been on the list here in Georgia for how long now?
Oh, geez, almost 2 years, a year and a half at least.
That's what's nice about having an in-person audience. You can't do that on Zoom. There's no like clapping. So Nigamith, we'll start with you if you could introduce yourself.
Hello, Professor of Medicine in the university and Chief Data Scientist for the healthcare system. Glad to be here. Thanks.
I'm Natalie Pagler, Chief Health Informatics Officer for Stanford Medicine Children's Health and a pediatric intensivist.
Hi, I'm David Magnus. I'm a professor in the Departments of Pediatrics Medicine and Biomedical Ethics and Associate Dean for Research.
Hi, I'm Sylvia Plavritis. I'm Professor and Chair of Biomedical Data Science here at Stanford.
Thank you so much. This is going to be incredible. But before we start, I'd like to share a video with you from Dr. Lloyd Miner, our Dean of the School of Medicine and Vice President for Medical Affairs at Stanford University, David Entwistle, President and CEO for Stanford Healthcare, and Paul King, President and CEO for Stanford Medicine Children's Health. They had hoped to be here.
Consumer society is different from previous forms of consumption. We have a wider variety of goods, shops and services. We have more pervasive marketing. Everything is commercialized and exchanged. And consumerism has become not just about producing new goods, but has become a cultural phenomenon.
In his classic 1993 book, Land of Desire, historian William Leach says that, quote, the cardinal features of this culture were acquisition and consumption as the means of achieving happiness, the cult of the new, the democratization of desire, and money value as the predominant measure of all value in society. And historian Peter Stearns defines consumerism as, quote, a society in which many people formulate their goals in life partly through
I don't judge. So I have my own, morals and ethics and personal values, but I never let that come across with the people I'm speaking to, whether they're the good guys, the bad guys, or somewhere in between, or undecided. And I just want to hear everyone's story. I just want to know what's going on. I want to give people a voice. I feel like they don't have one. And then also, I'm a 24-year-old girl from Canada.
You're only 24?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know I look a lot older. But I'm a 24-year-old girl from Canada who...
For myself, it was something that was happening around me nearly every day that I paid no attention to.
I mean, this is bittersweet for me because this is like closing a chapter, because once I tell this story, I can't go back undercover. And so it's like, it's very hard. But like I said, I realize you can't rescue yourself out of this business. We have to have the people stand up. You have to have the people to realize that this goes on. And you have to be able to relate to people. Like, it has to be able to relate to them. It's not so far out there they can't touch it. It has to be here. It has to be close to them. So,
what was it that got you over that threshold of being willing to come forward and actually put your face on what you're doing?
Man, this fucking work will rip you apart. I've been doing it since 2014. And so, I've been ready to close it, for a long time. Just perfect timing, man. It was I was just waiting for the right time. It was our whole saying was about the deed, not the